There is a question that follows some people for years, quietly, patiently, usually appearing at strange moments, late at night, during a long drive, in the few seconds after a celebration ends. The question is simple. When did you stop believing in the person you were trying to become? Not when did you fail, not when did life become difficult, not when did things stop going according to plan. When did you stop believing? Because there was a time when the future felt different. Remember that? There was a time when your future self felt almost real. You imagined where you would live, who you would become, how you would carry yourself. You assumed that person was waiting for you somewhere ahead. And perhaps the strangest thing is that they were, at least for a while. When you're young, possibility feels natural. You don't wake up wondering whether you're capable. You simply assume you are. You don't spend hours debating whether you're worthy of a better life. You don't analyze every risk. You don't explain to yourself why something probably won't work. You move, you try, you believe, not because you're naive, because doubt hasn't become your language yet. Then something changes, not in a single moment. That's what makes it difficult to see. There is no dramatic collapse, no obvious turning point, only small adjustments. A dream gets postponed, a risk gets avoided, a disappointment stays with you longer than it should. You tell yourself you'll return to it later, and later becomes one of the most dangerous words in the human vocabulary. Because later never argues with you, later never pressures you, later simply waits. Until one day you realize years have disappeared inside it. Maybe that's why so few people notice the moment they stop believing, because it doesn't feel like surrender. It feels reasonable, it feels mature, it feels practical. The person who once wanted to start the business becomes responsible. The person who wanted to travel becomes realistic. The person who wanted to write becomes busy. The dream isn't rejected, it is explained away, and explanation is often the last stage before abandonment. Have you ever looked at an old photograph of yourself and felt something you couldn't quite name? Not nostalgia, something stranger, as if you're looking at someone who knew something you've forgotten, someone who expected more from life, someone who expected more from you. Most people don't become strangers to themselves overnight. They become strangers through repetition, the same fear, the same excuse, the same hesitation. Repeated often enough that it begins to feel like personality. You stop saying, "I've been avoiding it," and start saying, "That's just not me." You stop saying, "I haven't done it yet," and start saying, "I'm not the kind of person who does that." The language changes, the identity follows, and once an identity forms, the mind begins protecting it, even when it hurts you, even when it limits you, even when it quietly destroys possibilities you once cared about. One day you'll pass a mirror you've walked past thousands of times before. Nothing about it will be different. The same reflection, the same face, the same life. But for a moment, something will happen. You'll remember the person you thought would be standing there. Not a perfect version of yourself, not a richer version, not a famous version, just the version that kept believing, the version that didn't stop, the version that continued. And for a second, you'll feel the distance between the two of you. That distance has a name: regret. Not regret for what happened, regret for what never happened. The conversations never started, the risks never taken, the talents never developed, the life never tested. People think regret comes from failure. Failure gives answers. Regret comes from unanswered questions. What if I had continued? What if I had trusted myself? What if I had begun? What if I hadn't spent years negotiating with my own potential? Those questions stay alive because possibility stays alive. That is the unsettling part. The person you were trying to become never completely disappears. The dream doesn't disappear. The potential doesn't disappear. The possibility doesn't disappear. What disappears is your belief that they are still available to you. And once that belief fades, even an open door can look permanently closed. Carl Jung believed that the parts of ourselves we abandon do not vanish. They wait in the shadows. Perhaps that's why success sometimes feels empty, why comfort sometimes feels strangely uncomfortable, why some people achieve everything they thought they wanted and still feel as though something is missing. Maybe something is, or rather, someone is, the person they stopped becoming. And perhaps that is the real tragedy, not becoming the wrong person, forgetting who you were trying to become in the first place. because nobody steals that future from you. Life doesn't suddenly remove it. Most of the time, it disappears another way. You stop visiting it, you stop imagining it, you stop believing it belongs to you, until eventually it feels like it belonged to someone else entirely. But before you leave this video, ask yourself something. Not what you want, not what your goals are, not where you hope to be in 5 years. Ask yourself this: when did you stop believing in the person you were trying to become? Because if you can find that moment, you may discover something else. The person you thought you lost may have been waiting there all along, waiting for you to believe in them again.